We talked about lists in the past. We didn't talk much about the built-in methods in Python to add an item inside the list. We first write down the list that we have declared, and then we click dot and then append, and then we add any item we want. Let's say I will add myself inside, and now we print the list. And once we print it and run the program, we're gonna see that I've gotten added at the end of the list. Let's say we want to add a whole list inside this other list. Let's call it new list, and let's add like 9, 10, 11, and let's access the old list and then write extend, and then we will write down the new list. And now we print again the list after we do that, the old one, and all the new items has been added at the end of the list as well, just like that. Let's say we want to insert an item inside the list at a certain index. So we access the list, we write down insert, we add the index, let's say the first index, and let's say what kind of object. We're just gonna add a string called first at the start of the list, and now we print the list, and we will see that the first has been added at the start of it. And here we can change it to 1, 2, whatever. If we add it to the third index, which is number 2, it's gonna be here at the third place. And let's say we wanna remove a certain item inside the list where we know the value of it. So if we know the value of that item, we're gonna remove from the list. We write down the list and then remove, and then the one we wanna remove, which is this one we have just added, and now we can print it to see the difference. Here we can see that first has gotten removed, and to remove one at a certain index we can use list.pop, and we can choose which index we wanna remove. Let's say the first one, and as we can see here that the first one, which is number 1, has been removed, and everything got pushed back by 1 index. To clear a list, we can use list.clear. It's very easy, and we can print the list, and it's gonna be empty, and as we can see it printed an empty list. Now let's remove the clear one, and now to find the index of a certain item inside the list, we can use list.index, and we can choose the value of the one we are looking for. So now if we have this list, let's try to find where str is, and if we did that, we should print, it's gonna return the number, the index where this item is. So we have to print it like that, and we can print where it is by doing this whole thing. So we can use the if string to print this statement, this string, and then the built-in method, which is called list.index, and the value we are looking for. And now when we run the program, we are gonna see the index of it is 0, and if we look for another element inside the list, let's say number 3, it should print 2. Did we remove anything? Since we removed this one, it's gonna print. Okay, we need to remove this one because it's gonna mess up our order inside the string. So now when we print it, it's gonna print the index of it is 2. The index of number 3 is 2, which is 0, 1, 2. This built-in function in Python, the one we are talking about right now, it takes multiple arguments, which is the first one is the first number where you are going to start your search inside the list, and the last one. So it will only look inside this list from this place to that place. So it would only start from 0 to, and it will end at 3. 0, 1, 2. You're gonna only search for 0 and 1 and 2 place, and it will skip the third one and everything outside that range. So now when we run the program, we can see that it found it, but if we, let's say number 4, we are looking for number 4 inside this list, it's not gonna find it. We have specified it, we have instructed it to just look for the first 3 items inside the first 3 elements inside the list. So that's why we get an error. We get a value error. Okay, let's start fresh and see. If you have multiple items you want to check inside your list, maybe you want to check a couple of items inside it, or elements that are the same. Let's say you have 2 number 9s.
I'll have 2 number 9s
in your list, and you want to see how many are they. If you're not really sure, maybe you have a really huge list and you want to see how many elements, how many certain elements are inside. So we write list.count. So we write list.count and then the value we are looking for, and we wrap it with a print statement, and now we print it, and we can see that we have 2 occurrences. Let's make them 3 number 9s, and now we run the program again and we get 3. To be able to sort a list, you have to first have a list of numbers or floats. Let's say you have multiple ones where floats and numbers. To sort them for you, if you have floats and numbers, negative numbers, as well. But if you have strings, it will not sort it. You get an error. You can reverse sort the list by doing this. And now we'll get it in a descending order. And to create a copy for that list, you can do it this way. And now you have two lists of the same one. And now you have two copies of that. You have another copy of that list. And you can sort a list of strings by having a list of strings, and then you can sort it this way, and then you can print it again and see for yourself how it is sorted. It will sort capital letters first, and as you can see, it first starts sorting the capital letters first and then the lowercase letters. To make it sort them, like first capital letter and then the same letter, which is the lowercase letter, like capital letter A and then lowercase letter A. You have to add key and then str.lower. And now you can see that it has sorted them by first capital A and then lowercase a and then capital B, lowercase b, c, and z. You can have more control over a list by, let's say for some reason you have some kind of assignment where you need to square every value inside the list. You can use for loop for accessing the elements inside the list, where we can say for I in list and then colon, and then there are multiple ways to do it. So you can create an empty list. Let's call it squared list equals empty list, and then inside this loop we can append squared list dot append and then I, which is squared, so double asterisk and then to number 2, which is square, and then we can print the squared one. And now when we run the program, we can see that now we have the square of every element inside. So 4 multiplied by 4 is 16, and so on and so on.